The grand final of Qualifier number 1, everybody. Tomb of the Spider Queen is our starting map as we have a rematch. We got washed up once again against the Bang Bush. So the Bang Bush, they made a little detour through the lower bracket, the losers bracket, and now find themselves in the grand final where they have another shot to get the ticket for Miami. Again, in October, we're going to have an offline event in Miami, $11,000 on the line for the participating teams. 8 teams in total participate in the event. 3 North American teams, 3 European teams, and 2 Korean teams. One of the Korean teams already decided. Team Tempest is going to play. And this particular best of 5 is going to determine one of the European teams that will head towards the event. So once again, if you want to have more information, you can check it out right there. The event is going to be open to the public, so you can stop by, shake hands with the players, the casters, and just simply enjoy the show on site. And you can also contribute to the event if you want. There's a crowdfunding. If you watch this on YouTube, there's a link in the description. You can find it on the website as well, of course. And every single donation made to that is not only going to help us to increase the production value, to make the event better for the audience, for the players, but also every single donation is going to be matched by our sponsors who will put an equal amount into the crowdfunding pool. So a big win. But we are obviously looking for a lot of teams that still have to be determined here, and the first one is going to be determined today for Europe. And I honestly can't wait to have the metas clash again in Miami, because this has been a long time since we had an international event offline with Korea, with North America, with Europe, and I mean, it would be fantastic if in the future we could even bring a Chinese team in, for example. So yeah, time will tell. This time it wasn't possible, but maybe in the future that's going to be a thing. If the event is a success. You can, by the way, also support the event by just simply telling your friends. There's tons and tons of people that are interested, generally speaking, in Heroes esports, but oftentimes they just miss the memo. They're not regularly on Reddit, they're not regularly watching Twitch, Heroes, or even Twitter. So there's tons of people that come in after the fact and are like, what the hell, nobody told me this is actually happening. So tell your friends. If you have a couple of friends that played Heroes in the past that might be interesting, tell them, save the date, set up a bit of a viewing event with them. Yep, just spread the word. Dequaza, first pick on Hogger for our first map, Tomb of the Spider Queen. We got Sylvanas and we got Lucio. This is actually the second time now that Lucio made it through today. Normally he is a very reliable ban, but Nick is dropping a Vala on us. Me likey. If you look at the ban pattern that we now have from Washed Up, it's also kind of funny because they are just eliminating everything that Ultralis could play. Or at least they're trying, but they only have 2 so far. So we get Tyrael, we get Vala and Hogger. I already like it. Vala is definitely a hero that I love that she's being played. I think she's in a pretty sweet spot where she's not played all the time. She's being busted out every now and then, depending on the map and depending on the playstyle. In this case, they're getting rid of Uther. Alright. Didn't necessarily expect that ban. But yeah, Uther can offer a lot. I'm not sure if in this case they were maybe even thinking that Uther could be played as a double support main tank and then Tyrael used by Nick, but I would really expect Nick on Vala and not Hazu, so not quite sure about that ban. They simply think that it's going to be an auto attack style and they want to make sure that they can get kills and that the Divine Shield cannot prevent that. But yeah. On other maps, I would have said maybe they're a bit afraid of the objective being cheesed, but yeah, I mean, be it as it may. For now, we got Tyrael, and maybe the rest of the draft is going to reveal something here. We got, again, the double pick now for the Bang Bush. Game number 1, the opening map in the best of 5. So, there it is. Urel and Cassia. Okay. Urel by Svamgrotta. Very different approach than they had in a lot of the previous games that we saw from them. So, let's have a bit of a look. What are we getting for Hazu and for Banana? I mean, technically you can still go into a double support. They could also... I mean, there's a lot of stuff that they could do, but I honestly think this is for the first game going to be a fairly normal composition. There's Junkrat, there's Malfurion, and off you go. So with that, we have nice interrupts, we have a lot of wave clear, we have good AoE in general. Bit of protection for all of them. And Nick can, of course, stack a lot of damage. Would still expect a multi-shot build here, which can be pretty brutal. If they would have gone into an auto attack style, I would assume I mean, he's not... He could. If he dies a couple of times, it's not that big of a deal since they still have Junkrat there, but either way, we'll see. Varian gets taken to the front, changes things slightly, because that taunt could become a problem. But yes, guys, we're going to head into the first game of the Grand Final. Tomb of the Spider Queen is our map. We got the rematch, Washed Up against the Bagbush. Tomb of the Spider Queen, Hazorbs with Junkrat for the blue team. On the left side, we got Nick on Vala, Dequaza playing Hogger, Masquerade on Tyrael, and Banana Age for the blue team playing Malfurion. To the right side of the map, the Bang Bush with Henning on Lucio in this first game of the best of 5. We have Ultralisk on Cassia, Skok on Sylvanas, Swamgrotta on Urel, and Nagrom is playing Varian. Alrighty, so the build for Vala, that's the one that we're waiting for, and as expected, it is a multi-shot build. Multi-shot is getting dropped here, and me likey. I mean, again, this is kind of what you expect. Obviously, an auto attack style can be pretty awesome. Most of the time when it happens, it's a double support behind it, so that Vala becomes the hyper carry, and they're trying to keep her alive throughout the game. There's different instances where you can still sacrifice her once or twice and still go for an auto attack, but in this particular case, AoE reigns supreme here. Good wave clear is great, and so they're going for the expected build on her. But let's see how this is going to play out. Now we have Sylvanas down at the bottom of the map, so they're apparently trying to apply a bit of pressure to Dequaza. Normally it's a 4-man rotation between the mid and the top lane that most teams are executing. And already the root, and that's a kill! I gotta say that Banana is making some seriously cool plays. And I honestly think that a lot of the European players have also watched some of the Korean games that were played in the qualifier, because we are seeing a lot more Malfurion than we've seen previously. Yeah, Korea loves Malfurion. They are including him in pretty much every single game. And Europe hasn't done that until recently. So after that Korean qualifier played out, a lot of the European teams started to play Malfurion a bit more. He still isn't part of every single game, and we haven't seen him banned, for example, but it is still interesting to note that he sees a lot more play and a higher priority than he did before. And honestly, that's what you see a lot, just generally speaking, that once that we're having more and more international events coming up and teams are looking a little bit across to other regions, they will adopt some of those plays and try out that style while still trying to, of course, maintain their own core strategies. Varian taken down 2. With that, we have now 2 kills to 0. And a good opening again for the... Ooh, they are even pogging here a little bit. I'm not quite sure what Dequaza is doing. I mean, inting is probably the word that we're looking for here. So, Dequaza is down. Buying time would be the generous interpretation, as they headed in and are taking the lead there. So, off we go. I mean, as it stands right now, we still have a little advantage here for them. We have in the middle of the map 1 camp still pushing, and that is on the side of the red team. Both teams with level 5. 26 to 33 gems, none of them turned in yet. Everything still being held by the players. But the quest is already completed for Vala, and obviously you can get some very good damage out with that level 1 quest if you just keep on stacking your diligence throughout the entire game, that you're hitting as much as you possibly can. Now this entire wall over here has already been destroyed, so at least structurally speaking, the early game is a win for Washed Up. They have lost a few gems when Hogger died, but they can still make the play here. There's the taunt, and Nick makes it out. Yep. Varian, he's a bad boy. He needs to taunt people all day long, so a big part of his training is just him standing in front of a mirror and practicing insults so that he can taunt players. And one of the favorites is, of course, the mama insults. Your mama is so fat that Stitches cannot hook her. Your mama is so fat that Garrosh can't throw her. Like, there's always like some good ones. Your mama is so fat that Thrall's Thunderstorm is bouncing, Lightning Strike is bouncing 3 times on her. But yeah, Varian has a lot of those. And you need to be versatile. If you really want to, you know, keep it fresh and make sure that players react to it, then this is the way to go. But by now we got Malfurion dropped, so these taunts are definitely working. I mean, taunting Malfurion is very, very easy. You just have to tell the truth. You just gotta tell him that his brother is much cooler than him, which we all know is a fact, but then again, he has trouble accepting that. Malfurion was always a very disturbed person and needs to really seek professional counsel. I mean, yeah, that guy is just anxiety-riddled, and that makes it very easy for someone like Varian to exploit that profoundly. So now we got still 2 kills to 2, and none of the teams has been able to turn in, but both of them have the gems to make it happen. So they can still try that one out. 31 stacks for Nick. Really want to see how far he can get as this continues. Adds another one to the mix as the taunt is hitting Tyrael. But yeah, by now we got 41 gems on each team, so it's getting real close. But the red team gets the first one. The red team is able to get the web weavers into play first. And that means that we're going to see a defense from Washed Up, which they should be able to pretty easily execute here, considering the heroes that they've drafted for this game. So the team composition is really catering towards that. They got a lot of AoE damage with someone like Junkrat and also with, of course, more so Vala. So let's see what he can actually pull off with this one. But yeah, down to the bottom of the map, still the solo laners. Over here, Vala with the multi-shots. The good old days, guys, in Alpha, when Vala had cooldown reduction on the multi-shot and extended range and everything, and you just could carpet the entire map pretty much with her AoE damage over and over again. Nice escape by Hazu. They dove deep for that, and they might pay a price here. A lot of damage dished out against those heroes that went into the fort range. But the Web Weaver gets destroyed. It's, of course, also quite a bit of time that they were using here. And Nagrom down at the bottom is going for another taunt. But the defense has been solid. Not a single one of these forts has lost a lot of hit points. Some of the walls were opened up, but that's about it. Same time, the level 10 abilities are ready, and that gives us also the mind control. Tyrael, the only one that is still holding his ult back, but only... Well, we have... No, not the only one. High five is in. Sanctification gets used. Nice, good save. Keeping him alive. And another big hit from Vala, as Nick is getting more stacks towards his level 10. Shockwave is still available, so Hogga is now moving in and could drop it here. Is probably looking for it against Urel, but she used the ult and is still able to make it out. Nick working on the level 1 quest more and more as he is pressuring the red team and pushing them back once again. Thanks to the camp, he should be able to do some damage to the fort, but Sylvanas is attempting to shut that push down as quickly as possible. Masquerade low, but they are now turning on Svamgrotta, and he doesn't have his ult any longer. So he needs to get out of here, and this is going to be pretty much impossible. They're definitely following up on that. And that's 11 gems that they are going to lose eventually. The blue web weavers are already summoned and are going to touch ground, but Svamgrotta is going to lose those gems. So yes, Urel is dead. Web weavers on the ground. 50 stacks for Nick. Good damage already right from the get-go here. 3 kills to 2 now. We got the build of hope again for Cassia with the Plate of the Whale and Surge of Light. Basically, you get a go for everything that looks green. To make it as hopeful of a build as you possibly can. Fort at the bot lane gets destroyed. Fort in the mid lane is also down. So Washed Up is taking some big leaps with the first objective that they lock in. And they could even go for the triple if they are now focusing towards the top lane. But instead what you're seeing is they're making a play for the wall in the middle of the map, opening up an opportunity to drop that keep later. Good taunt! The Sanctification. The problem with the Sanctification against taunt is that it's a mad cooldown loss. Nick, talking about losing, is losing his life and 15 gems because he dove deep to try and get a kill here. A little bit too greedy. Got some stacks together, but yeah, that is not the end-all be-all. So a bit problematic for him. Also allows now the red team to chase them even further, especially with Lucio, but the rest of them is able to escape. But we at the bottom of the map have still done damage, so structurally that's a big win. But as I said a bit earlier, if you always try and save a hero by dropping the Sanctification in these situations, whenever Variant comes in, it's a cooldown fight that you're losing big time. So you really need to get more than only a saved hero. You need to turn it around at the same time and try to ensure that you're using that Sanctification for a counter attack too, that maybe allows you to kill a hero. 59 stacks now for Nick. He's currently at 46,000 damage. Just to give you a little bit perspective on this, he's doubling the damage of Cassia, who's the top damage dealer for the Bang Bush. And at the same time also has a lot of siege damage. So they could try and turn in again, and they do. So that's a second wave for them. Mind control after the taunt, and Hogga is dead. Yeah, there's a lot of CC here. If you get taunted and then the mind control gets used a second later, that's a mind control you just can't miss. Nice damage done, and Nick also with the strafe trying to keep them at bay, but you can really tell that the pressure is on, washed up, despite the fact that they are the ones that just took another web weaver wave. They got the objective. They are still playing a 4 versus 5 because the Quasar is missing, but this is an easy defense for the Bang Bush. Yeah, they're doing very, very well here. And the damage output from Vala is kind of nuts, but as long as you coordinate all of your skills on a single target, Bang Bush is still able to get these kills. And there's the mind control again, and Banana is not somebody that can afford to be at the front line. So the Sanctification has to be used again as the Web Weaver in the mid lane gets attacked. Now, they still got one at the bottom of the map, and they are aiming for the top fort, but they haven't really gotten anything out of this turn-in. So it's a big problem for the blue team. Bang Bush is very happy with his defense. 72 stacks on Vala's side. I mean, we're 10 minutes in, and 72 stacks, that's a lot. So if he keeps it up, that could start to become nasty as the game continues. I mean, yeah. The damage increase that you get with this is kind of bonkers. Or can be in the late game. And yep, there's the turn-in. Henning delivers the gems. And this should be a web weaver wave for the red team. I mean, at this point, it's highly likely they're going to make the play for the turn. But they have to fall back because they really don't want to fight this just yet, it seems. I mean, Urel doesn't have an ult, but everybody else is pretty much ready for the battle. Tyrael, 20 seconds until he has Sanctification back up, so that's also something to consider. And, well, let's get at it. Over here, we have the push into the middle. Yes, Svamgrota coming in from the side, flanking. The mind control missed though, so they dodged around this nicely, and we still have Hazo and Junkrat up at the top doing damage against the opponent's fort, while the level 16 talents give also Manticore to Vala, so this is increasing the single target damage, which is definitely something that Macrom with his variant does not really like. But the attacks keep coming, and Vala is getting the multi-shots connected, and Hazu is still doing damage topside. So yes, that fort is not looking good, and the keep in the mid lane is also starting to take damage. Another move forward, another stack, and that minion wave gets burned away within a moment. Nick is doing so much AoE damage here, it's actually scary, and that allows them to just pressure them even further. I mean, look at that keep. They are able to really pressure them time and time again here. Svamgrota moving in once more. Nagrom low shockwave hitting him hard. The attack into the backline as they're trying to go for Vala, but Verilyn is already dead as Urel gets booped away. That saves Vala, and they can take that keep down. The level 16 talent advantage is something that they have perfectly timed here. The keep falls 87 stack, and they're even going for the core now. They're moving in for the core. 16 versus 16. They're applying pressure. I don't think they can take the core, but maybe they can bait somebody out so that they can get another kill. That would, of course, be fantastic for them, but they have to be very, very careful here. 89 stacks. How much damage does Vala have? 80,000. Vala on 80,000 damage right now, and after the keep in the mid lane has fallen, they're now taking down the fort at the top. Yep, that is some solid play. Even Hazu, yeah, Svamgrota realizes he can't do anything. Won't be able to do that as long as Hazu is there, so he's already falling back. Hazu's preventing the turn-in on the side of the Bang Bush, and they themselves are getting closer and closer to enough gems for another turn-in. 4 kills to 4. There's level 16. The final talent picked for Varian. Yeah, a few more attacks happening. Urel, she can't die. Too many gems for her. Same for Ultralis, 26. Riptire interrupt against Sylvanas, and the fight continues. Skog with a bit of damage, but he gotta be careful too. So once again, they're making a play for Varian at the front, and he is having a much harder time now that Vala has Manticore. Whenever he stays too close to the action, those auto attacks are hitting hard, and once level 20 is available for Nick, this is only going to increase. Once again, the taunt, but still, the Quasar is safe, is able to make it out. The follow-up was not strong enough. The red web weavers are gonna descend since the team has turned in. But Nick with another quick hit, and now he's at 96 stacks. Yep, that damage is gonna hurt. Well, it already does. So Nagrom at the front, taking the brunt of it. We're trying to save the fort in the mid lane first. Web weavers at the top in the bot lane are far away. Sylvanas is enhancing this push even further. Nagrom attacked once again, gets spooked away. They're trying to create a little bit of space so that they can go for the Web Weaver once more, and that's exactly what they're doing here. But the backline is already low, and Lucio is doing his best to heal them back up so that they can go for the next battle. Here comes the jump by Nagrom. No taunt, and just look at his midpoints melting away as Vala is hitting one auto attack after another. And making another play here, and Strafe gets used again to zone them away here. Nagrom low, Hoga with a big poke looking for the shockwave. Hitting it but not well enough, but the kill on Varian, and even heading is low. The Sanctification Cassia is dead, and this is a disaster for the Bang Bush. Washed up with such a good performance now. Really coordinating these attacks and also killing Irel, which eliminates even more gems from the Bang Bush. Not that it matters anymore, since this is obviously going to be a big boy attack onto the core. 101,000 damage for Vala now. She joins the 6-digit club, completely murdering it. Also 96,000 siege damage, and the core is falling, washed up. They're taking the lead in the grand final against the Bang Bush. Fantastic job by them here on Tomb of the Spider Queen, as they are taking the lead in the best of 5 series, the grand final of the first European qualifier for the Heroes International. GG and well played.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Washed Up has the 1-0 lead against the Bang Bush, but now headed towards Infernal Shrines, the second map in the best of 5. Keep in mind, this is the grand final, so whichever team wins this moves on to the main event in Miami. The team that loses isn't, well, they're out of this tournament, but there's a second qualifier for Europe, and in addition to that, there's also a last chance qualifier, and if you at any of the tournaments made it into second place, you are pretty much qualified already for the last chance qualifier too. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, multiple opportunities to make it to the main event. But right now we got Maiev banned out again. Shocking, I know. They are banning Ultralisk, who would have thought. Tyrael and... yeah, they're actually... It's nice that they're changing the pattern a little bit of what they're banning here on the side of the Bang Bush. So now they're getting rid of Tyrael too. Sergeant Hammer obviously is not going to play here. And we have Kerrigan eliminated. Alright, so first pick. First ban for the team in red. What are we getting this time? Hogger, Blaze. Well, it's Hogger. That was answered very, very quickly. Okay, so Hogger has already been dropped. Now, do we get Blaze, or what is Dequaza gonna play? Also, in addition to that, Hanzo maybe again? That's one of the openings that we've seen a lot of times here in Infernal Shrines. Or is Nick going to drop another Vala game? I would not mind that at all after what we've just seen. And this is a great map for Vala. Ah, yeah, right. Lucio is still up too. So they get rid of Lucio instead. But yeah, we got Lucio, we got Blaze. Vala is open. You can still go for Hanzo. Genji is also up. I've seen a very severe lack of Tracer games, by the way. I think we had one yesterday, maybe one in the early rounds. Honestly, if you cast this many games within a short period of time, they just start to just all blend together at some point. But yeah. We now got Diablo and we got Brightwing. And that gives us a lot of wall stun potential for the for the shrines. Dibbles is always fun on this map. I always like that. But I'm more interested in the damage dealers now, because I would really like another Vala play. And I think, I mean, I don't think Vala is obviously amazing in Infernal Shrines, but she also comes with a couple of downsides. She's still a bit on the squishy side. You gotta be able to keep her alive, and I'm not sure they can here. But she definitely is getting mad value when you're fighting on a shrine, and you're getting not only hits in against the shrine minions, but at the same time you're also getting some additional stacks against the opponent's team and can slowly take them down too. So yeah, there's a lot. But final ban. What's it gonna be? What are they afraid of here? Masquerade, Hazu, and Nick haven't picked yet. And they ban out Tychus. Tychus is always a hero that you can pick on Infernal Shrines. It's also a good ban. Odin is spectacularly strong. Gets played a lot. I mean, again, back in the day, there were some North American strategies that they used in HTC where they, for example, took Tychus and Alexstrasza and went for Odin and for the Dragon transformation to win shrines, and they played that for quite some time. So, yeah. Hanzo and Mirrodin. Okay, the dwarf is back. Rumor has it that Masquerade likes Mirrodin so much because they roughly have the same height. But we also have 2 more picks coming in for final tier for the red team. Ultralisk. They tried to ban you out, my friend. They banned 3 of your heroes. Sylvanas, Maiev, and Kerrigan. What is he going for this time? It's actually kind of crazy when you think about it. Okay, he's going for the standard pick. He's going for Genji. And Skork with Falstad. Alright, everybody. Final pick. Nick still needs to choose, but we are ready for map number 2. More or less. So, time to party. Let's see what Washed Up is going to get. They already have the lead in the best of 5, so they need to win 2 more maps. But Bang Bush, they gave them a run for their money in some of the games in the winner bracket final when the 2 teams already collided for the first time today. So maybe they can do it again here on Infernal Shrines. Time to find out. The final pick for the blue team, it is Zul. We get the lane rotations. Alright, I'm game. Let's go, baby. Washed Up against the Bang Bush. Hazops on Hanzo in the second game of the series. Dequaz on Blaze, Banana H and Lucio. We got Nick on Zul and Masquerade on Burden. On the right side of the map, it's Svamkarota on Hogger. We got Henning on Brightwing, Nagrom on Diablo, Ultralisk on Genji, and Skok on Falstad. Yeah, Alex the Pro G would be proud. We're gonna get a roaming Zul here. So all the wave clear in the world as you're rotating between the lanes and trying to take the opponent down with one slice after another. Get all that cleave action into it. And it could be a real fun one. We've seen it a few times already in Zul. It's a little bit hit or miss. He can either be absolutely amazing or he's getting absolutely trashed. So yeah, we've seen both. But for now, we have the Stormbolt, of course, that can lead to the first stun, a follow-up from our boy Blaze. And Nick is already putting that scythe to some good use here in the middle of the map. Blaze the one to rotate up towards the top. And Ultralisk, he's going to be poking, as they're trying to go for Banana H here. Lucio just sliding around. I mean, he is definitely a bit hyper. Very, very hyper. The guy just can't stand still. Not at all. But yeah. Game number 1 was a very coordinated effort by Washed Up, and it led to a victory on Tomb of the Spider Queen. So they have the first win in this best of 5 series, and one step closer to Miami. Nick gets attacked and gets taken apart by Ultralisk. The team moved in, coordinated onto Zul and tried to take him down, but it was at the end of the day, it was Genji that dropped him. Talking about Genji, he gets welcomed by Blaze with another quick stun, but they just don't have enough damage here to seriously threaten the life of the Shimada. So down to the bottom of the map. Still a bit of poke happening now too. We have the camps up on the map, and Genji is very, very active. Just like moving around here and trying to scout that out, poke a little bit and annoy them as much as possible. Slow a few of the rotations down, as with the 1 minute mark the camps have spawned and the teams are making their move for those Khazra camps. So, 27 stacks for Diablo at this point. Skok with Falstad. And Nagrom are moving down here to try and assist Ultralisk a little bit if need be. Heading straight in with the Devil's Due. We got the Sacrificial Soul here on level 4. Hammer gains for Falstad. Sledgehammer for Muradin, as often, and Zul hasn't really made a choice yet. There we go. That's straight into the jailers on level 4. Big damage at the top, so yeah, Skok sitting here on the side lane. Falstad is going to try and get that structural damage in as best as he can throughout the entire game. Now, the objective is getting announced now, and that means that we're starting to work on the camps at the top left and top right, so that the top lane is getting pressured a bit. The advantage clearly goes to Washed Up, to the Bang Bush, since they have the global. Now, question is always, can they properly use that to push the lane in further and take that wall down, maybe even attack the fort a little bit? Or will all that wave clear that we are seeing for Washed Up help them to take the shamans down quickly? Ultralisk getting attacked, and he's in some, or was in some real trouble for a moment, but Brightwing helping out once again. Now, it is again the start of the game, so the first objective is popping up. We're talking this time about a Frozen Punisher, which also means that this one is going to definitely pack a punch on the push that will follow. And for now, it looks as if Washed Up is going to get this one more or less for free. At least the Bang Bush is not making any big plays for it. And with Zul just using all of that AoE that he brings to the table, they are about to get this one fairly easy. So this is going to be the first objective for them. Lucio gets attacked. Banana is able to move out though. But the level 7 talent is now ready a little bit sooner for Washed Up. So they are still in attack up at the top, and they're getting damage done here. The Punisher at the bottom of the map is taken. But yeah, it's a bit of a wild game. The teams are definitely trying to play around your objective more so than just brainlessly YOLOing in for it. Another Storm Bolt. Sorry, Hazu is getting attacked with another wall stun, or with a Storm Bolt, but the stun is real all the same. Bottom of the map now getting attacked, and Falstad the main one to deal with it. But Svamgrotta taken down by Hanzo and Muradin. Hanzo himself attacked and annihilated by his brother. So a kill for a kill, as the bot lane is suffering quite a lot. So this Frozen Punisher is doing a ton of damage here. Skok is baiting it back in, but as you can see, that is a lot of work done. The gate down, the fort losing some hit points, and they've also been attacking the top. It's a bit of a scrappy one. Everybody is just trying to find some kill on the lane, get an isolated target, maybe move in, take some structures down on a lane that is currently not being defended, while the Punisher has done work down towards the bottom of the map. So no real lead for any team yet. Kill count 1 to 2. But an interesting second game thus far. Stacks are slowly coming together for both teams here. Spray game is on point, that's always important. Ultralisk is true to his job description. He's just being a pain in the ass the entire time. Always threatening the Quasar, always moving into the mid, into the top lane, trying to come in from the side to flank a little bit, just get some damage in. And yeah, solidify kills like this one against Banana H. So they get the Lucio kill. And partly, of course, because of this rotation that we just saw from him. So, well done. Gets another couple of hits in against Sneak, and with 3 kills to 1, they're currently looking pretty good on the kills. But they are losing out on structures a bit. So up at the top, we now have the entire wall taken down too. Muradin is dead though, and the Bang Bush is actually starting to pull ahead a bit. It's not a big experience lead that they have, but it's enough to get an early level 10 and allow them to take the opponent's camp away. And yeah, it's getting a bit wild here. Now, we have Muradin this time with the Avatar. We have on level 7 also Dragul's Essence. And we get the... we have the Meme Strike. Dragon Strike is in. We get the Skeletal Mages too. And they're still hoping to get a jump on Quasar. Look at this. Time and time again. If you're paying attention to the minimap, you've seen this a few times now already. So yeah, Quasar knows what's up. Should be able to move away from this one. But Genji is patiently waiting in the wings for another engage, and is jumping in for some damage. But Quasar was just waiting for it, not using any of his cooldowns, and can use the jet propulsion to move back out. Yeah, Stormbolt. Okay, they're trying to go for him with the jailers here. With some hits, nearly completed the quest too, by the way. He's sitting at 75 right now. Another hit, gets the Stormbolt. Can they go for him? Swamgrota, stun, but Brightwing assisting. And there's the Apocalypse, but also we got a Hogger kill after all. And the memes try to save the day for them as they're going for a kill on Diablo and they drop him. The souls are gone, but so is Lucio. Henning is in trouble and Brightwing is dead. Diablo down to 35 souls at this point. So yes, they get the Genji kill, and all of a sudden we have 5 kills here for Washed Up. They got 4 kills in that last encounter. So it took them quite a lot of time to really come online here, but that last team fight was absolutely spectacular. A lot of interrupts, a lot of stuns connecting at the perfect moment in time, and it couldn't have happened at a better time for them in general, talking about the flow of the game, because now they have a massive lead on the second objective. And it would be shocking if they are not the ones to walk away with another Punisher, which is the second one for them, and this time it's a Mortar Punisher. But yeah, it's 30 stacks already for the blue team, and there's just no way that the Bang Bush can change this. Not happening. So yeah, 5 to 5, that's a level 13. They're still starting to attack Ultralisk a little bit more. And there's another hit for Masquerade. Nice attack, the Punisher! They lose Muradin, the Punisher jumping in, dishing out the pain and damage. They might get a kill here, but with Zul at the top and only 3 heroes sitting in the middle of the map, it's highly unlikely. If they didn't lose Muradin here, then it would be a different story. But now the defense is fairly easy. Of course, there's still damage done by the Punisher himself, but the value was definitely cut a bit low by that kill against Muradin. Without the tank was a problem. Falls dead, nearly committing Sudoku here as he flies straight into the range of the blue team and nearly died for it. The jet propulsion missed, so they couldn't get the kill here either. 5 kills to 6, bit of damage in the mid lane. Ford has been attacked, but so far not a single team has been able to really establish a big lead that they can build on. The small advantages and of course a teamfight victory at the right moment in time is definitely going to go the right direction for you and is pushing you a bit ahead, but it was immediately negated by the Bang Bush making another play. Both of the teams going for an exchange in structures now. As top side, we already have another Ford attacked down to the bottom of the map. This one is gone too. So it's just them accelerating the game a little bit by taking out structures and counter pushing. But the camp is taken. Yes, Diablo's a little bit too late. X-Strike though, and Lucio made it out, and Diablo died. Diablo is dead, and this time for the full duration. Good gust from Skog that saved Swamgrota, so Hogger was nearly down, but they saved him with that gust. But the battle isn't over yet, because they're still making a play for him. So they're trying to move in here, and Ultralisk tried to use the opportunity to turn it against Lucio, but he couldn't. So they are saving the support over and over again as they now drop the second Ford in the game. So there's finally a bit of a lead that gets established, and they are looking for follow-up kills. They're looking for one kill after another, time and time again, and so far they've been doing really well with this. But they also got to be careful that the game doesn't get turned on them, because if they go a bit too deep, then there's a good chance that they're just going to get punished for it. Now we have 6 kills to 6, 2 Fords destroyed, passive experience gain is increased for Washed Up. On level 13, the echoes of death have been taken. Just taking a bit of a look over to the damage numbers. We have 30,000 now for Hanzo. The two Shimada brothers are doing both quite well. 30,000 and 29,000. Zul is sitting at 15, 16k, whereas both Hogger and Falstad are roughly at 20, 22. So lots of damage here from the melee front line on the side of the Bang Bush. A couple of additional camps are now up too. And again, the play being made here as we have the level 16 talents available. And off we go. Zul is dead, and well, Lucio is also... Ah, he made it out. Hogger died, so they get the counter kill. Wait, what? They're actually turning this. They're turning this big time. They take Diablo down too, so once again his souls are gone. Except, of course, for the 25 souls of the hero of the Blizzard executives that were responsible for the death of Heroes Esports. Those Diablo still keeps. And he should. He honestly should. They deserve it. But every other soul got freed, and he now has to stack up a few more of them. They go again for Diablo, and he's dead again. I mean, right now, they're just farming him. They're absolutely farming him. This is a wild game at this point. 9 kills to 7, and still just small advantages that are getting eked out by the players. But the timing of these kills is always great for Washed Up, or at least that's what it seems like. Once again, it happens just as the objective spawns, and they can make the early play for the Shrine. Honestly, the last couple of objectives, Bangbush just couldn't make a play. And also, I gotta say that Banana H on Lucio is just time and time again playing a game on Razor's Edge where he is so close to dying. It's also partly, well, mainly because Ultralisk is definitely going for him whenever he can. I mean, every time. It's pretty fantastic to see how much pressure he can put onto that support without playing it too risky, but he is just such a fantastic player. And it's evident in every single draft where you see 2 or 3 heroes banned against him, but also then when you see what he is still able to pull off here. So right now, we have another fort falling at the top. Nagrom is again in trouble. He might die here. He might die again. The Skeletal Mages are out. There's the Gus. They're desperately attempting to save him. Brightwing moving into the turnaround attempt with the Apocalypse. Hazu is still fine. There's the Shockwave. Bunker is up. They need to go in, but they can't. It's already destroyed, and they're moving back once again. But Svamgrota has to also be careful as Zul is focusing all of his attention on Augur. So they exchange a ton of ults here, but nobody dies. The problem is that during all of this, the Punisher still did work at the top, and now they are, of course, pushing for the keep. And as this is getting closer and closer to level 20, let's not forget that this is also going to make a huge difference for Hanzo, who will have access to the cooldown reduction on his ult. So right now, the halfway, I mean, they might, they're not going to get that keep, but they dropped it very, very low. And again, 1.5 levels, and they will have level 20, and that is a massive change for Hanzo in particular. Try to turn it again, and Nagrom gets hit hard. But it is Brightwing that facilitates the save and the turnaround. Muradin gets murdered, so Masquerade is down, and Dequaza is also low and dies. And Banana is alive! He's alive! He's alive! He's alive! He's alive! He's alive! And he's still alive! How the fuck did he make it out there? How the hell did he make it out? Hanzo at least died, but I don't know what amazes me more. That Lucio survived this again, or that 3 heroes on the Bang Bush were all incredibly low and none of them died. So that was fantastic. I mean, Lucio's toying with them at this point. It doesn't change the fact that 3 of their heroes died, starting with Masquerade on Muradin, who got crushed. So now we have another fort in the mid lane destroyed on the blue team side. And it's actually the red team, it's actually the Bang Bush that is a bit ahead in experience and will get the early level 20. But yeah, it's just crazy. It looked for a moment like Banana might even be able to get a kill or 2. So, yeah. But level 20 talents, they are huge. I mean, on both sides, of course. But that cooldown reduction for Hanzo, if you don't die early on in the battle, as I said before, you can easily get out 2 or 3 of your meme strikes. And they really hurt at that point in time. So, here's level 20. With that, we have upgrades on most of the ults. We also get the no control. At the bottom of the map, still another battle happening here. The wind tunnel already utilized. And, yeah, here's the ult. Level 20 is picked, so now Hanzo can start to work on the cooldown reduction. The fortified bunker is also up. A big hit's already incoming. The mix and fire for now. We get the rewind, and we get the mortal wound, which is also pretty big. I mean, mortal wound is huge if you can deny some of the big Brightwing heals. So, yeah. But as it stands, with level 20 versus level 20, the invade attempt up at the top. Muradin gets attacked. Stun, stun, stun. And Masquerade, face-checking the bush, gets punished. And all of a sudden, the entire team falls apart. 1 down, 2 down, 3 down. 3, 4 heroes easily eliminated. No problem whatsoever. This at the top is likely going to take the keep if nobody deals with it, but there's a real chance now for the Bang Bush to get a keep first. This fight was big. First they killed Muradin, And then it was just them chasing over and over again into the choke point and just obliterating everyone. Blaze is the only survivor. The Bang Bush is going for the victory. They're sacrificing their top keep, but they're going for the core here. And Blaze is not enough to stop them. This just isn't happening. 20 more seconds, still missing. Blaze gets attacked and gets taken down. Muradin face-checking the bush started all of this. Him falling was the beginning of the end. And the Bang Bush, they tie the series. As we are headed for game number 3, it's a 1-1 score between Washed Up and the Bang Bush as the red team claims victory on Infernal Shrines and takes down Washed Up. GG, well played. Game number 3, Washed Up losing on Infernal Shrines. Looked for a long time like they might be the ones to take the game. At least they were threatening to take the top keep for quite some time. But Bang Bush, they needed one mistake on the side of the blue team to get a quick kill on Muradin, and then they followed up very quickly afterwards with multiple additional kills that allowed them to just move through the middle of the map, go past the gate, straight for the keep, take the core down, and win game number 2. So, we're heading into the 3rd map of this best of 5 series in the grand final on an even score between the two teams. And yeah, it is Cursed Hollow, which is a bit surprising to me because normally in my head I always associate picks on Cursed Hollow with Hazu's team picking it, since Hazu for a long time was the one playing Vikings here, and his team usually loved to play on this map. But it's actually a map choice made by the Bang Bush, so they decided in favor of Cursed Hollow. We have a bit of a different ban pattern already, so not really targeting Ultralisk right from the get-go, but instead banning out Johanna for the map. Brightwing also eliminated. It's a good chance that we're seeing Dehaka here, by the way. But let me see what they're gonna get rid of next. It gotta address Ultralisk at least once, right? Yeah, Hogger! Hogger gets banned, okay. Ultralisk must be pretty happy. He's just sitting there like, alright guys, let's go. The world's your oyster. All the heroes are still up for grabs, so now he can pretty much take whatever he wants. Still likely going to be the last pick for them. Flexing that. But okay. They are getting rid of Teriel. Lucio, I mean, you have pretty much everything up, or a lot of the heroes up that are usually getting rid of here. So we could still see a Lucio, for example. Globals, Dehaka, also easy plays there. Brightwing already banned out, so that eliminates the Fruit Fly. No Trash Ring for game number 3. And, well, there is a Blaze. Okay, so they're starting things off with Blaze instead of going for Dehaka. But yeah. What do we get there? Okay. Hammer is also open. So that's another one that has been consistently banned out, and this is one of the first games where they actually have an opportunity to take it. Genji and Rega are both claimed. So Ultralisk is going for Genji super early again, despite the fact that... I mean, Genji is not really a hero that was contested a whole lot. Rega mostly taken because there's so many camps on the map, and he can really assist you with the speed on the camp clear. That goes for pretty much all of them. Likely going to be the Ancestral. But yeah, on top of that, here comes the Sergeant. It's the only chance that they had so far to take Sergeant Hammer, and they are using this right away. Then again, if you're the Bang Bush and you're not banning out Sergeant Hammer, you know that there's a high probability that they are going to take it. So I would assume that they are prepared. So that's the thing. But alright, let's see. We got for now the bans coming in, and they could definitely get... I'm not so sure. I was mostly thinking about banning out Anduin, because one of the things that is insanely annoying is when Sergeant Hammer gets always saved by Anduin. You got so many tools already to keep her safe, and then Anduin can just ruin any coordinated attack onto her. So we'll see what they take for their support, but that combo, we've seen that multiple times, and every single time was just like, oh my god. That would be annoying as hell to go up against. But who knows? Maybe Banana is deciding in favor of something completely different. Karazim also still quite strong and something that also Nick can play. So it's not only that it's the solo support that they can threaten that. But yeah. We got Leo. Leoric, the janitor, is in the house again. And together with that, we have the birdie. So a little bit of global control. Can also try and get a good gust and maybe with a decent angle. They can make a play here. Can also go for isolation, of course. If you're getting the Entomb and then the Gust, then you can isolate a target. It's not really the most common combo, but it can still be used. Sometimes it's valuable. As long as you don't try to force it too hard. Tracer! Tracer together with Hammer. Alright, this is gonna get really annoying. This is gonna get very annoying. And there's the Anduin pick. Yeah! That comp is full on cancer. So now we go for Nagrom. The final pick, they still need a main tank. And yes. Very interested what is going to bring this draft together now and allow them to take the hammer down. Because it's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. Solo, map number 3. Washed up against the Bang Bush. The final pick. It's ETC. Well, let's see if that works out for them. I have my doubts. But then again, maybe they can find... Maybe it's the key to success here. So let's see if the Bang Bush can take the lead here, or if it's going to be washed up. Cursed Hollow, ladies and gentlemen, map number 3. Washed up against the Bang Bush, we are on Cursed Hollow, and Dayquaza is playing Blaze for the team. We got Masquerade on Diablo, Hazops and Sergeant Hammer, Nick on Tracer, and Banana H is playing Anduin. The Bang Bush rocking it here with Henning playing Rhaegar. We got Skok on Falstad, Svamgrotta on Leoric, Nagrom on ETC, and Ultralisk on Genji. Now, I'm going to be blunt. I really don't like what the red team is using here. But I've seen comps in the past where I was quite doubtful when they started drafting it, and then it turned out that in the game they just played it incredibly well and were able to lock in a victory. But at least for the time being, I still gotta say that I'm gonna wait for them to convince me that this is the right choice here. So, Nagrom on ETC. Yeah, you got a couple of stuns, you got a couple of nice moves, but this is such an annoying composition that the blue team is playing that I really gotta admit that I have big questions on how they're going to deal not only with Sergeant Hammer but also with Tracer continuously through team fights. They have a bit of a lead when it comes to globals, especially if ETC, for example, decides to not go for the mosh pit but instead goes for the stage dive. And they're already doing some good work here against Masquerade, so there's at least that. But, yeah, we'll see. Now, for the time, Hazops is not going to be that big of a problem. It becomes more of an issue once he hits level 7 and gets the added mobility that the Hover Siege mode gives him. But it's also, of course, Nick on Tracer. That is going to be a problem. I talked during the draft a bit of how I really think that Anduin is really good with Sergeant Hammer and is just making Hammer even more... I mean, Hammer alone is already annoying as hell. If you have Hammer together with Anduin, even if you execute a decent play against Sergeant Hammer, Anduin can always save their target. These days we have a lot of regenerative biosteel taken on level 4, but you could still go for the siege tactics. I love, by the way, this little move here by Svamgrotta as he's trying to steal the camp. But yeah. We've seen some pretty crazy camp steals in the past, but for now it's just the team is doing their thing here. It's at least attempting to threaten it a little bit. I don't think we're going to see too much happen in the early stages of the game, honestly. So, yeah, for now, I expect them to just go through the motion, take those camps, set them en route, and then slowly get into position for the first objective. But even there, you will need level 7 before you can really make any big moves. Regenerated Biosteel it is once again, so no siege tactics for Sergeant Hammer. Not necessarily needed. Especially, of course, with... Anduin in play. Nagrom always putting the pressure onto Diablo here, and Masquerade is gonna have to be very, very careful as that game unfolds. But obviously, if ETC makes a bad move, then he could be punished for that very quickly. It's not really a very hit point heavy tank. So if you have a good ETC player, he can always create a couple of kill opportunities for you. But if the opponent reacts well and is able to target you quickly and focus you, then yeah, that's going to be super rough. Now either way, we got top side. Hazu slowly getting in position together with the Siege Giants. So that's another thing that they can slowly do here. But yeah, there's already Nagrom playing this one out. Another slide. Masquerade. It's a 3 versus 2. And they go for ETC and they take him down. ETC dead. Sergeant doing his thing. Spray game on point over here. Another little battle unfolding at the bottom of the map. First tribute at the top. And it's an easy pick, honestly, for Washed Up now. So not only do they do structural damage here, but they're also able to... Well, they're losing Tracer and maybe even Blaze. No. Tracer's down. Got eaten by the wolf. Yeah, that was then came a little bit too late. Or Svamgora might have fallen too. But Falstad had a lot of time to push through the bottom of the map. So while Sergeant Hammer is getting value at the top, Falstad was granted a lot of space by those moves made by the Bang Bush that he could use to take that wall down. The early level 7 for the red team. But off we go. Harbor Siege mode is in play. Malevolence for Diablo. And again, an opening where both teams are doing well. And one of the ways that you can deal with Sergeant Hammer is, of course, to not focus on her too much when you don't really have to. Try to find value in other positions and other situations on the map. Push these lanes out a little bit. Get your own lane push going. So they're doing well. But let's see what else they can do here. Because what they need at the end of the day is also to take some map control. And with one tribute already claimed, Washed Up has now a chance to use Sergeant Hammer to lock the second one in. The position is, of course, a little bit better for the red team. And Hazu is very much alone at the top. Yeah, Falstad already taken out of the camp. And with that, we now have the position taken around the tribute slowly by them. They're also trying to trap Ultralisk a bit. Yeah, a bit of a face check here by Banana H, but so far they're still fine. Okay, the attack is happening as they're going for ETC again. And ETC is really a bit of a weak link if they can be the ones to initiate upon him. Because his hit point pool is nothing to write home about. Nick had to go a little bit deeper than he probably wanted here to get the interrupt. But he got it. Gets it again. And now we have Diablo coming in from the top. Rhaegar with a channel attempt. Blaze against Falstad at the bottom of the map as the birdie is still getting additional work done. But they have Sergeant Hammer now in a much better position all of a sudden and can even move Genji back. And Tracer is already on his heels, trying to zone him out even further. But Blaze has been struggling a bit to deal with these Siege Giants. And the Fortress has taken damage, but so does Nagrom, but he gets out. Calculated, baby. Yep. Fully calculated. Now Falstad is joining the battle, which means it's a 5 versus 4. Blaze is sticking to the bot lane, so they're going to try and buy some time. If they can get a kill, even better, but it's... Wow! They actually do get a kill. They take Rhaegar down, and that gives them the second tribute. Honestly, I did not think they would be able to pull that one off. It looked to me like they were trying to buy some time so that Dequaza can get side lane value and get damage in. But now the level 10 abilities are ready for them. They're already making a move for Genji and they drop him too. 3 kills to 1. The early level 10 helping, of course. And as you can tell, as expected by me a bit earlier, they indeed go for the stage dive. So they're not going for a mosh pit attempt. But stage dive will allow them to have an even bigger impact on the macro performance here. And they can also try to collapse onto Sergeant Hammer with more heroes. Now, if that's gonna work for them or not, that's a very, very different question. But we'll see. Everybody's checking for bosses, by the way. So the timing is a bit off for Masquerade, but I guess he's going to see this one eventually. At the bottom of the map, Leo has done the same thing. But they are taking this early, and the blue team is not working on it. So blue team isn't working on the boss, and that's kind of problematic. Bit unfortunate also for Masquerade himself that he just missed the timing to check this one out. But they might be able to get the kill on Svamgrota, and well, scratch the might. They're definitely going to get that kill. So Leo is gone. And that could allow them to get the curse. Yep, Hazu's already channeling. Boss at the top is already in play. And yep, that's a curse. Very early curse here. 7.5 minutes in. Washed Up getting the advantage against the Bang Bush. How much can they get out of this though? Leo is dead, but he's coming back now. Still, oh, X-Strike, careful. And the stage dive too. Ultralisk is still low. Already bunkering up here. The bot lane fort will be destroyed by the minions, and they get the kill on ETC. So yeah, this one's gonna hurt a bit. To the top, that boss still very early in the game, and thanks to the curse, is not going to do any real damage. The minion waves are being burned down very quickly. One fort is already gone, and they are moving through the middle in an attempt to even go for the keep. They have another 29 seconds left, and they have a level 13 talent over the opponent's team too, so that helps them even further. Top lane also in trouble, and Blaze is already diving behind it to take those minion waves down and get even more experience for them. This is a big push by Washed Up. Massive value. All the forts will be gone after this, and one keep for sure. I mean, how much more ahead can you get? This is ridiculous. Guys, we're 8 minutes in, and the final fort is soon gonna fall, and they already took a keep down. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. What a massive lead for them, and they're going immediately for the boss too. Genji can check this out. 13 versus 13 talents. I'm just not sure if they're going to be here in time. Do they let it leash? Yeah, here comes ETC though. And he might have gone a little bit too deep. He gets immediately malhandled by Diablo, and they want the kill here. Hazu taps the fountain, and they can turn it now on Genji and force him back. So the boss hasn't been taken. They had to abandon the idea, but there was also a lot of ults that were used by the Bang Bush that are now on cooldown. Yeah, it's a bit of a wild... And they go for it again. They go for it again. Now, there's no vision right now, but Leo is checking the bush. All of them pretty much do. Sergeant Hammer still has to be careful. Falset is at the bottom of the map. They're continuously trying to make a play for this here. And they're forcing them to engage. They're forcing them to engage with that fight, but they also got to deal with the boss at the same time. Skog is a bit low, so the birdie is finding himself in trouble. And they're all waiting for ETC to make the play, to slide in here. And once it's all on the boss, the Apocalypse is going to come in quite handy for them. Light Bomb with little value, boss already leashed. Even the Entomb has been used there. They're going back into the fight. Slow. Do they have the jet propulsion? Not yet. Masquerade. Yes, he's trying for the combo, but the Apocalypse was denied. Good move. The jet propulsion, on the other hand, hits hard. And here's the hits towards the backline. Hazu escapes with 100 hit points. Ultron is barely missing out on it. And instead, ETC is killed, and we have catapults on the core. It's too early in the game for them to really make a difference here and get damage against the core. But it's still kind of funny that that mid lane already got pushed so hard that we have catapults attacking the shield. Now they go for the boss again. If that happened in 7-8 minutes, that core would have taken significant damage. But this early in the game, doesn't matter too much. So yeah, the root on Anduin immediately gets called out by the teammates. Riding the pleb horse, that's what he should be called out for. I mean, look at that mount. Like, we all got an incredibly epic and incredibly rare and incredibly unique lizard or something along those lines. He could ride that, but he decides in favor of the pleb horse, and I'm not quite sure if I can condone this. So either way, bot lane gets now attacked, and guys, I don't know what to tell you, but we have a level 16 talent for the blue team. They got a boss, a talent advantage, a level lead that gives them a stats advantage, and they got a hammer. Yeah. I think that's the second keep that falls here. It's a horrible position for the Bang Bush to be in. Now, let's not forget that on the second map, they did a great job playing this out until the late game, and then they got a single fight that turned it all around in their favor. But this is definitely problematic. And with the boss having this many hit points still, they can now go for the core, and that's exactly where they're headed. So they're going for the core here, starting to take that down. Big damage from Sergeant Hammer. They get the Apocalypse. This time the combo is true, and falls that falls. Nice move by Masquerade. He gets the Apocalypse combo off against the birdie, and now they are going straight for the core and for a potential victory, as the core is losing hit points down to 70%. They take Genji down. Already a kill against Leo. Nagrom gets out, but the core can't run and therefore dies. 9 kills to 1, a 2-1 lead for Washed Up in the grand final against the Bang Bush. Towers of Doom, game number 4, and the first match point also for Washed Up. So they got an opportunity here to qualify for Miami for the $11,000 tournament in October. Again, all the details down here, check that one out. and mark the date, the 14th to the 16th of October. Korea, North America, and Europe battling each other once again. So right now we got Sergeant Hammer banned. Yeah, I know you're shocked, right? Who saw that one coming? I mean, wow. Hammer really after the last game? Incredible. So yeah, Sergeant Hammer is banned. Not going to be played again in the series. I mean, this might be the last map, but obviously we could also get a 5-mapper. So we have a Towers of Doom, the next pick incoming, or the next ban incoming. And they're getting rid of Johanna again. They really don't like Jojo for them. Nope, they are targeting Nagrom a bit more here. Yeah, the ETC pick on the last map, I really don't know. ETC, honestly, I'm a bit torn on ETC. On the one hand, I really love him for all the amazing games that we've seen in the past. But it just feels that these days he is just so much on the squishy side that it is nearly impossible for a player to make him work. It happens occasionally, and especially if your team is able from the start to get a bit of momentum. It's awesome to see that. But he is suffering from, yeah. He's pretty fragile. Now, they are getting rid of Junkrat, though. This is also a map where I could see Nagrom take Stitches again. So let's keep that in mind. He played Stitches a lot here. And I think Washed Up is very aware of that. They banned Diablo out. It's actually kind of interesting because both of the main tank players for these two teams have played Stitches on Towers of Doom. We've seen it from Nagrom, we've seen it from Masquerade. So it might come down to a bit of a Stitches battle between them. Blaze gets banned. Yep, and it leaves us with Hogger on the top lane. With Leo. Hogger, Leo, Yrel are your most likely picks. Probably in that order. Unless we're gonna get some crazy stuff. I mean, Hazu Vikings. We get Nick on Genji this time, and we get Brightwing together with that. So the Fruit Fly is back in the house. I really hope that they don't ban the Vikings on the third ban, because it would be kind of cool if we at least have the option. Sometimes it gets banned against Hazu, and oftentimes it's even the case when he doesn't even think about picking them. He's actually commented on that back in the HC days with Team Liquid. He said, like, yeah, people oftentimes ban the Vikings against us, and I haven't played Vikings in months. But it's kind of nice to see that we're still able, that fear of me playing the Vikings at some point is still enough to bait out a couple of bans against a hero that we are not using. But lately, he's playing it now every now and then, so there is a chance that we're going to see Vikings, but I kind of doubt it. So, Rega and Maiev get taken. Ultralis gets his Maiev. That's actually big. That's really big. And he had to pick it early because now with the third ban incoming, there was a chance that if he doesn't take it, that she gets eliminated from the game. But Tyrael instead is targeted with Blaze and Maiev. That's a very good ban. The Sanctification, when Maiev makes a move and they're heavily engaging here, and then Blaze on top of that, it's a bit too much, so yeah. But alright. What do they get rid of? What is the Bangbush eliminating now? Yeah, you get the main tank also. They go for the Haka. Ah, Jesus, I forgot about the Haka. I listed the side laners with leading with Hogger, and I'm totally blanking on the Haka, of course. I mean, it's Towers of Doom after all. So yes, the Haka was definitely a big option there. Very big option. But okay, I'm more interested now in the main tank. Is one of these two picking Stitches? Are they going for that? Leo and Muradin. Okay, Masquerade is back to Muradin. Time for Nagrom. Stitches is not going to do too much for you here, though. Brightwing can move back, Genji can zip out, Muradin can jump, Leo can Wraithwalk. You might still get kills on them, but you also they need to land the stun right away. So they go for for Vala. Okay. Vala for Skok and Uther. Uther main tank. Double support, Vala, triple frontline. They could go auto attack. That is something I didn't see coming. Nice. Interesting draft for the Bangbush. Apparently they were saying, okay boys, we gotta mix it up a little bit. And it's gonna take Washed Up also a minute to just like adjust their brain and like and think what they now are going to take. But yeah, so we got Towers of Doom, first match point, and we get Gul'dan. Gul'dan in the house, everybody. Washed up against the Bangbush. Let's get going. The first match point for the blue team. Are we going to get map number 5, or is Washed Up grabbing their ticket to Miami right now? Let's find out. Washed Up is in the lead in the grand final, the best of 5. It could be the last map. The blue team with Hazorps now with the Fel Flame build on Gul'dan, Nick with Genji, Masquerade on Muradin, Banana Age on Brightwing, and Dequaza on Leoric. To the right side, the Bangbush with Henning on Rega. We got Svamgrotta on Blaze. Nagrom playing the main tank Uther. Again, it's been played quite a bit. You get Uther, he has the stun, he has quite some survivability, and also gets the additional heals in. Skog with a multi-shot build, regardless of the double support that he has here. An Ultralisk on Maiev. So, can they make that work? Definitely be thinking outside of the box a little bit. There's been a couple of weeks, maybe even months, where the Uther main tank variation was incredibly popular, and pretty much every single team played it to at least some extent. These days, you get it mostly from Inding for Ruby. When Fish can go for Uther, he loves to do exactly that. But we still occasionally see it by other teams, but very rarely lately. So it's a bit of a surprise that Nagrom is going for it here. But of course it can support Vala and also Maiev significantly, and could lead to some nice kills and situations for them, especially also dropping all of the CC here. Now, time will tell how successful this is going to be for them, but as it stands, we're now seeing the rotation between the lanes with Hazu trying to get stacks for his level 1 talent. Same is obviously true for Vala in the sense that she wants to stack it up. We've seen a very successful Vala play already earlier today when our boy Nick was getting, how much was it towards the end? 105 stacks on the level 1? I mean, he's been crushing it with that build. So, we got the camps up, which means that right from the get-go... Oh, they're invading! They're actually invading, and the Stormbolt is already in. Uther is low, but Muradin is lower. He loses his life, so a significant lack of hit points seems to be a chronic condition here for Masquerade today. So dead again, and that leads to 6 pumpkins on the bot lane. And good start for Bangbush. Very good start. That's a lot of damage, and the front wall is pretty much gone. So Muradin has to be careful. There's a lot of stuns against him when he tries to go into a situation like this one. So, yeah, we get a couple of stacks together. Early level 4 for them right now. 20 stacks also for the Fel Flame build from Hazu. And later in the game, when we have level 16 in Manticore for Vala, Muradin obviously has another problem. That is all of that percentage damage that is going to hit him. By now, still top lane, the 1v1, Dequaza against Svamgrotta opted in for Leoric this time. So... first objective is going to be up in another 10 seconds. We're going to be announced. And then we'll see who pulls ahead here. But off we go. Brightwing so far not taking the level 4 talent. Yeah, a bit of slows down here for Leo too. And talking about Brightwing, Banana gets hit and Banana gets killed. So yep, these little flanks are currently highly impactful. Lots of aggression coming from the Bangbush, and that's 2 kills to 0. And up to this point at least, they always got some value here. So they are now in a position where they might just be... they should be able to get 2 out of the 3 altars. They will have the early level 7, so normally it's the top left, top right exchange. And then just play mate for it. Bit of damage and nice pressure against Svamgrotta's Blaze, but that's not going to be doing too much. Shots are fired, and yes, indeed, they have already 8 points that they can take off the core of the blue team. Hazu completes his quest on level 1, and the shots fired against the red team score. So the traditional exchange as expected. With the early lead that they got for themselves, that's roughly what they were looking at. Now, we still have the level 7 talents for Bangbush a bit early. It's not really a big gap, so not a window that you can capitalize on. Vala by now with the hot pursuit. Same time that we're seeing them go for the camp again. It's also time for the blue team to really think how they want to play this, because their camp is still slightly delayed, as you can tell. And here's another move by the Bangbushers. They're saying, like, guys, let's go for the same play again. But this time, Hazu is using that choke point to really unleash some big AoE damage. Svamgrotta is also coming in, but they're still fighting for this. They're still fighting it out, and Leo is missing, so it's a 5 versus 4. They want the camp again, and they're getting the camp again. And now they're gonna get a kill against Leoric. Yeah, the Quasar is dropped, the camp is stolen, and Washed Up is not looking too hot here. If this game is won by the Bang Bush, then it's all gonna come down to a single map to determine which team goes to Miami, which team gets the first ticket. So right now, this is a big problem for Washed Up. I mean, look at this. We are 4 or 5 minutes in and the bell tower conversion has happened and Masquerade is gonna die again. 4 kills to 0, an entire level lead. They already have the advantage in core points, and now it's gonna be another 5 shots that get fired. And some of the decisions that they made here are, I wanna say, questionable. Because for Quasar to move in that late when the team has pretty much already decided they're not gonna go for the core. Sorry, not for the camp. Yeah. So they're not out of this yet, but they're definitely on the back foot now. So shots are fired. We have, with level 7 now also, the hunger for power. We got Peekaboo. And Hazorps is getting attacked as the team is walking away because they can't fight against level 10 abilities. It is a map where the late game is everything. Early game pressure is great, really helps you. But the late game, when you build late game momentum, you can always start a big comeback on this map. We've seen the most crazy comebacks here. Teams that had a single point on the core against 30 and still were able to win because they built momentum. Rhaegar now going for Bloodlust. Taking a page out of the Greens. I mean, they got a double support, so it's absolutely fine for them to go for one aggressive option. And they're going for the fight again, or at least they're looking for it. Level 10 for both teams now. Horrify is ready. Obviously, we're getting again the Entomb, and also Muradin making sure that he's a bit more hit point heavy during these team fights by opting straight up for the Avatar. Camp at the bottom of the map is nearly, or the tower, the bell tower at the bottom lane is nearly retaken. That's eventually going to happen, but they got to go for the fight now. So there's the Horrify. Not good enough. Not good enough to get them anything here. Brings them to safety, but that's about it. Stormbolt connects with Maiev. 4 kills to 0. Still not a single kill for Washed Up. Okay, so the camps are both up again. Double altar. Yeah, they go for a bit of a drive-by to take that bell tower, but here comes the fight. Bloodlust already used. Bloodlust is in. Genji trying to go for Nagrom here, but they got the bunker out, and they still have the Divine Shield too. So Leo is already moving away from this. A lot of cooldowns got exchanged, but nobody died. Experience is still fairly similar, and Leo is likely gonna get this in time. I think handing is gonna be too late. No, maybe not. Oh, nice. That was a big hit. And they go for Nagrom, and they get the kill, finally. They finally have a kill here. Applause, applause. First kill for the blue team, and they're looking for a second one, and they get that follow-up kill. They drop Maiev, and they get both of those altars. Now, that is a little bit of a meme, honestly. 28 to 27 points on the core, and even a chase kill on Blaze. So, Washed Up is back to business. Not only are they back to business, they're all of a sudden about to take a lead here. They're only 1 point behind on the core because Leo just sneakily moved to the top and stole the altar away before Rhaegar could appear. Now they steal the opponent's camp away. They get some chase kills. Blaze still dead, dropped the wall, and they also have taken the opponent's camp with Leo still rotating between the lanes. So yeah, that one turned very, very quickly. Bang Bush dominated the early game. And the last altar phase just turned the entire thing on its head. So they're trying to invade here again, now that they have level 13 talents. And they might make it work. Leoric has started to threaten the top bell tower, but he's now moving back down so that they can take the fight. The disc is out, they steal the camp, but here comes the Entomb, and I mean, this Entomb is bad for them. This Entomb is, well, bad for the red team, because it completely splits them for a second and forces them into the fight, but the Quasar loses his life once more. Can they get a counter kill? Genji was trying, but he just doesn't have the hit points right now. the double support is helping them with all the sustain that they need here. So good moves by the Bang Bush. Got a bit dicey though. Could have lost that battle. But it's 3 kills to 5 now in total. Leoric will be back soon. That's the easy thing about losing Leoric. I mean, he's always going to be back and spawning on site, so you don't lose any travel time from the Nexus. And that really helps him here. Nick is once again diving in, but going too deep. Too many stuns. The tether connects. And with Genji going down, that also means that the altar will be channeled by the Bang Bush. So yeah, they haven't given up either. They maybe lost a little bit of their momentum because Washed Up had a pretty good move in that bottom fight. But now they are again taking the lead because that bell tower is dust. They take that one. Easy kill right there. Bell tower is going to be taken. 3 kills to 6. Now they're going to get some damage up at the top. I gotta say too that the Horrifies that we've seen so far from Hazu just haven't really done anything for them. They were able to, I mean, if they're retreating, then they are able to get at least something done in the sense that they can force the opponent back, but they haven't really been able to use them so that they isolate a target and get a kill. And essentially, that is the best case scenario when you're using Horrify. The disc missing. Once again, a bit of a play being made here. In comes the Entomb, Bloodlust right away being used by Rega. And they try to go for the next hit, but also the Horrify. And that's one of the nice things about Horrify. It can kind of negate Bloodlust a little bit. Might have been one of the reasons why they chose Gul'dan in the first place here. So you can try and get rid of some of the momentum that the blue team, oh sorry, the red team is trying to build up here. They get the camp, but they weren't able to take the top bell tower, so now both teams are working on their level 16 talent. Bang Bush with another banging bush. And they use it to take Nick down again. Yeah, Nick is getting farmed a bit. Died at the bot lane, now he dies here up at the top. Level 16 is available for the Bang Bush. They still have 5 bell towers to 3. And it's a triple altar phase. Brightwing is trying to deal with the bot lane, but there's nowhere near enough wave clear and structure pressure to take that one in time. So they are likely going to lose a lot of points on the core now. Bang Bush is fighting tooth and nail right now to make this work. Yeah, tooth and nail. So if at any point Hazu is able to use the Horrify to get them an isolation kill, that would be fantastic. I mean, that's what you're aiming for at the end of the day. Unless you're just negating Bloodlust. But the dream is always to get the proper, especially after a stun. Get a good stun in, get a good Horrify, isolate the target and take it down. That was actually one of the most beautiful things during the times of HGC. Like some of the executions there when Gul'dan was regularly played. These days you don't see him all that often anymore. So this is actually one of the few games where he's played outside of Tomb of the Spider Queen, for example. But yeah, here we are. 7 kills to 3. They were able to take out all of the pumpkins, so good for them. 13 to 25. Double altar soon to be up. And up at the top lane. They get the bell tower, so it's a 4 versus 4 now. But they have to get the momentum. They have even experience, and that's the most important part. And there it is, nearly a kill on Nagrom. But nicely done. The Divine Shield, everybody. Yep, that one was awesome. Horrify is still up. Already using the bunker again. There's the Bloodlust, and Horrify gets used and completely misses. Horrify completely missed here. They were trying to use it as a disengage again, but it missed. At least for now. There was no kill though by the Bang Bush, and now that Bloodlust is gone, they are being chased hard. And Nagrom is likely going to be the first one to fall. So Uther is down, and they're looking for an additional kill, and they should be able to at least get Vala, and they do. So Vala is down, Leo was traded, they can definitely afford to do that, but that's a big opportunity to take some infrastructure back and take the lead in the bell towers here. So 54 stacks for Vala. Not shabby, but also nowhere near what Nick was able to pull off when he played Vala on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Altars activating in 2. They're still trying to get the bell tower converted. That would give them the lead here. Rega already with the channel, and he lets it go through. They're not completely waiting it out. But now if they're getting the bot lane, this is going to be another big one. That's going to be 5 shots fired. So now 9 points, 225. Rega getting the channel here means they couldn't interrupt, so now they're in the single digits. 9 points to 20, now that the shots connect. And maybe they got a chance to get even another bell tower. If they can build momentum enough to get even more or at least hold on to the infrastructure, it would be huge. But again, it's time and time a play against a team that has a lot of sustain thanks to the two supports here. And doing their thing. So off we go. Oh, Masquerade gets caught there for a moment. The camp taken, and they set things up with the disc against Leo. Bloodlust used. And Hazu, is he gonna go for the Horrify? No, they don't. Yes, he does. Maybe a bit too late. The Quasar gets away and Uther dies. What the hell? How did Leo not get dropped here? And they are able to take Nagrom down. Now it's time for Svampgrotta to fall. A fantastic entomb from Leoric. De Quasar, who should have by all rights died earlier as they chased him down with Bloodlust, is able to turn it around and drop an entomb on Blaze to facilitate a second kill against the Bangbush. 7 kills to 8. They go for Ultra and they nearly get another kill. Leo still active in the middle. They want to go for another bell tower. Lots and lots of damage now, of course, also from Hazox, who's at 154,000 siege damage. Look at the top siege damage currently on the side of the Bangbush. It's 86k for Blaze. And Hazo himself nearly doubling that. And now as the red team has moved towards the top lane and tries to take down at least one of the bell towers, level 20 is ready. 4 washed up, and they can pressure even the mid lane out a bit. With level 20, they got the Haunt, they got, more importantly, the Buried Alive, and now they got a big opportunity to gain a few points. Now, there's still a big gap in points on the core, of course, but that's 10 shots that they can fire, and that nearly negates the entire advantage that the Bangbush has. 15, make it 10, 9 points to 10, and they could technically also try to go for the boss now if they wanted to. And they do. They do. They let the team in red retake the bot lane as they are pulling ahead here. The boss can't be contested because they don't have level 20, so that's another 4 shots of the red team's core. And Washed Up is getting closer and closer and closer to Miami. 4 more shots fired, the core down to 6 points, both teams in the single digits, and they can go for the top bell tower, which they are going to take here. But the red team is just interested in taking the bot lane. And they might be able to, because there is a defense coming, but no, they're only trying to slow them down a little bit because they realize they got an opportunity in the mid lane too. They damaged it earlier, and now they're gonna go to drop the final few hit points. So yes, 2 keeps likely gonna fall soon, or 2 bell towers. Obviously the bot lane is very important because you have 2 pumpkin camps moving through, so that is the big issue that they have. But it's still going to be a 5 versus 3 situation as we have a single altar spawning next at the bottom of the map. And they have to try and retake this. Brightwing is a bit afraid that they're rotating over. There's nobody visible on the map, so you can't really blame Banana for that. He needs to retreat there. Doesn't really take that. And now that they know what's going on down here, they are most likely going to send Brightwing back up on the lane to take this one. But now we got the Gladiators Washout. We also got the Farflight Quiver, so level 20 talents are now available for both teams. Nice dodge by Hazo. Good juke by him. Brightwing still has a bit more time at the top lane to try and convert this. Pumpkins are also eliminated, so that's big. And here comes the altar. And with Brightwing taking it, that would be a single point on the core. Ah, they're cheesing it. Nice. Good timing on the Divine Shield. Yeah, that's a problem. So 6 points on the core to 6. Here comes the play. Where's the Horrify? No, they lose Leo. The Horrify gets used. They want the kill on Rega, and they are not getting it. They lose Genji instead. Gul'dan is down. Oh boy, this is bad news for Washed Up. They got 6 points on the core, and now the Bangbush is building up a ton of momentum to retake these bell towers. Love the cheese with the Divine Shield. It's one of the cool things that you can pull off with the Sanctification over the Divine Shield when you're playing on Towers of Doom. And that timing was awesome. There were so many moments in the past when a team was trying to pull that off and they just messed it up slightly. And then it was completely wasted. It's so... you have no idea how easy it is to actually waste it and miss the timing. And then you are just using an ult for nothing. And your opponent has an advantage here. But that one was big. Now, this is an opportunity for the Bangbush to force game number 5, and they're inching closer and closer to it. Yeah, this is some awesome stuff here. So they're coming in with the pumpkins at the bot lane. They're likely all going to connect, which means that 3 more points are going to be taken off the core. It's 4 bell towers to 4, and 1 single altar channel is going to win the game for the Bang Bush. So they only got to win their own one. And guys, with the Divine Shield cheese that they have, Washed Up needs to YOLO. Washed Up needs to YOLO right now, because they can do that again. They can play that out once more if they get close enough to an altar. And they gotta know that. So now you really need to take position here. You cannot allow them to get close to it. Brightwing is channeling on the left side, but if they allow them to start the channel, it's gonna be the ruin of them. There's the Buried Alive. They're trying to go for Rhaegar. So far, doesn't happen. Horrify is being used to. Bloodlust. Utilized. Divine Shield is still up. The channel hasn't started yet. Everybody's going for the choke point right now as they're trying to go for the victory. Bloodlust still ongoing. They're trying to make the move here. The channel not starting just yet. Divine Shield! It's there! Is it in time? The shots, no! The interrupt has happened, but Leo died for it. Leo died to make the interrupt work. Now it's a 5 versus 4. But they lose Uther. Uther is dead. He has redemption though. He'll be back. And here comes the channel. Swamgrota needs to be interrupted. Genji obliges for now. But this is looking bad. Gul'dan is down. Masquerade does his best, but this is not happening. This is game. 2 points on the core against 3. The channel will happen. Genji, Muradin, they're all dead. Only Banana H is still alive. Scratch that, he's dead too. And this is game number 5. We are going the distance on the grand final. Bang Bush, they still have a chance to go to Miami. GG. Who would have thought? It all comes down to the final map. Gonna be blunt, I didn't believe in it. But the Bang Bush made it possible on Towers of Doom. So again, just to recap this real quickly, this is the rematch of the winner bracket final where the 2 teams already went up against each other. And back then, Washed Up won it with a 3-1. Now, they sent Bang Bush packing into the losers bracket, and the red team then made a losers bracket run and arrived in the grand final for a rematch. And now they're just 1 map win away from getting their ticket for Miami. And that would be pretty impressive. Obviously, instantly you see Maiev banned out, and they're also getting rid of Sergeant Hammer. They're targeting Ultralisk right from the get-go. And I think this is a really good decision. Ultralisk with Maiev had a massive impact on the red team's victory on the last map. But yeah, this is amazing. So again, it's all about the offline finals. Both of the teams want to go. There's more chances to come. This is not the only qualifier. There will be another one. But of course, you don't want to risk anything there. You never know what happens. A player might get sick. You have to play with a sub. Might be some other problems. In this case, both of them very, very eager to get that early ticket for the big event in October. And it's just awesome that we're going to the final map for all of this. So Tyrael gets banned, so does Sergeant Hammer. And now the first pick with Hogger for Dayquaza towards the top lane. Okay, so yep, this is going to be pretty sweet. All right, let's see what we're getting. What is the double pick for the Bang Bush? They had a successful play on the last map, went down to the wire, but they took it in the end. And they have a big opportunity here. Very few things are as juicy as a team that makes the run to the losers bracket and then decides the tournament in their favor. So we get Blaze and we get Rhaegar. Rhaegar, of course, also very helpful with the camps as usual. Can take those quickly. And yep, this will be big. Now another thing, of course, that you have to consider here is whoever wins the first qualifier also has a seed advantage in the main event. So that helps you to make things a little bit easier in the bracket for the Heroes International. Johanna taken by Masquerade. No Muradin this time. This is usually one of his Muradin maps, but nope, no budget Gimli for him. Hanzo and Jojo. Okay. I like what I'm seeing so far. And Jojo, of course, lots and lots of survivability for her now too. But what else are we getting? What can they pull off here? What are they banning, first of all? Yeah, they're getting rid of Tracer. Can't fault them for that. Support still up for Banana H. Nick obviously can always adjust to whatever's happening now. Technically, you could even go Anduin and Genji if you wanted to go double Shimada and Light Bomb engage with Genji. So that's still a possibility. But we're going to get some kind of Nick special. Sylvanas, she's also still up. A little hint here. Could even be a ban. They did it earlier, but in this... I actually don't mind that at all. Getting rid of Genji, given the performance of Ultralisk today, is a pretty smart move. Now, Sylvanas is, of course, still a strong pick that could be taken here, but eliminating Genji is pretty solid. And it limits Ultralisk's pool a bit more. I mean, again, it's not like you're going to ban him out or anything. He's been showcasing so many different heroes. It's ridiculous. But yeah, he's kind of nuts on all of this. So what are they going to get for him this time? First, we're going to see the main tank. It's Diablo. And we got Chromie. All right. Chromie in the house. Well, she's going to be happy. Sorry, played today? Yesterday? I keep forgetting. No Dehaka, by the way. No Falstad. Usually Global is really reigning supreme here. Brightwing is also still up, so Brightwing could also be taken. Yeah, Falstad for Hazu might not be a bad one. They get the birdie and they get Karazim. Alright. Falstad and Karazim, the final pick for Ultralisk. The moment of truth, the final pick on the final map, on the final match. Dragonshy is going to decide which of these two teams takes the top seed for Europe and gets a ticket for Miami. Here we are, Ultralisk, waiting the timeout. What's it going to be for him? We need damage. It's Greymane! He channels his inner Korean and goes for Greymane. Dragonshy, everybody, here we go, the Bang Bush against Washed Up. The final map in the grand final, we have on the left side Banana H with Karazim, Hazops is playing Hanzo, Masquerade on Jojo, Nick on Falstad, and Dequaza on Hogger. Ultralisk dipping a little bit into the Korean meta as he picks Greymane. Has to of course be a bit careful that Johanna doesn't negate him too much with those blinds and stuns. We got Svamgrotta on Blaze, Nagrom on Diablo, Henning plays Rega on the final map of this series, and Skok on Chromie. The Chrome star back in the house, super happy about it. Problem, of course, for Chromie is nobody likes her. That's why she's getting slapped around all day long. Which might be a little bit kinky in the end, but, well, Chromie, she's a little bit more on the kinky side. I mean, have you seen those skins? Anyways, big battle in the mid lane as we're starting things off. Hazu, of course, Nick on Falstad. Can, as the game continues. I mean, Nick really loves to go for that side lane pressure anyways. He really, really likes that. And Falstad will make that so much easier for him. But he also has to be very careful that neither Chromie nor Greymane just obliterates him. But if he gets the chance to push out some lanes after the forts are destroyed, he will go for that. And they are going for destruction already. Down goes the doggy, and they're going for a double doggy kill. Look at that. Hanzo with a drop on not only Greymane, but also Rega. Yeah, that's a great start. Washed Up a little bit mad here. They were thinking that they could already pack it up and go home with a 3-1 victory and book their Miami flights, but not quite. So before they, in the end up losing all of this, they are buckling down and get the double kill in the early game. And let's see if they can build on it as this continues. Chromie already going straight up on level 1 with the deep breathing. So the Dragon's Breath build. I mean, that little gnome is obviously just faking it. No self-respecting dragon will ever take that shape or form. Look at Alexstrasza. You know, Alexstrasza, she's doing it right. That's a real dragon. Look at Deathwing. There we're talking. Chromie, I don't think so. She's a pretender. At some point in one of the games, there will be a truck pulling up, and the guys in the white jackets are going to make a move for her. So Falstad gets taken down. Yeah, Bangbush is not giving up on this one that easily yet either. They still have hopes that they are going to be the first one to qualify for Miami and get the top seed for Europe. Banana already punching it out a little bit down here in the middle of the map. But me likey quite a bit. Aggression all over the place. Bot lane, mid lane, top lane. teams looking for the objective, of course, too. Falstad, he's the global. He can play a big role whether or not they are getting a Dragon Knight later on in the game, too, or whether they can deny it or not. So, yes, here we are. Top lane has already taken a bit of damage. They're trying to catch Banana, who is for just a moment... Oh, Diablo! Diablo out of nowhere comes in and gets the kill. Nice! Nagrom with a great rotation towards the top as he sees a chance for his team to take Karazim down. And just as Banana thought he was safe, there comes Diablo and just stops him cold. Nicely done. Awesome stuff. So, all the way up at the top, we got, for now, 2 kills to 2. Both of the teams on level 6.5, so experience is still fairly even. Red team very eager to get the control over both of the shrines, which was denied at least for now by Washed Up rotating over. Level 7 talents soon TM with the Quasar now getting pushed back down to the bottom of the map. Hazu against Chromie. It's currently the bit of the battle that they have. And up at the top, they're going for the big fight. And it seems that Nick is going to suffer another death. So, the Bang Bush, everybody. Nice. Like, these guys, they lost in the winner bracket against Washed Up. They fought through the losers bracket, came back into the grand final. Even there, they fell behind twice. And now they're just fighting their way back time and time again to now have an opportunity to maybe get that top seed slot. 4 kills to 2. Can't stop, won't stop. They Quasar's just poking it out, but the rest of the red team has now controlled the top lane and started to take the wall down, which is going to eventually make it a lot harder for the top laner to hold on to the shrine. So Washed Up is losing some ground here. They are. They lost already 2 games in the early stages of the tournament, of the first qualifier. And we asked the question back then, are they there yet? Now, here comes the play from Banana H. He gets the kill against Chromie, but the rotation back down to the bottom of the map eliminates him. The Baldy is gone. Yeah, those always hurt. There's, of course, a little bit of, like, solidarity still. A bald brother has fallen. And they might... No, I don't think they're going to get a Dragon Knight yet. Hogga is still playing at the top against Blaze and is slowing it down for them. But they at least have a chance to go for the camp down here. Is Masquerade checking that? Nah, and even if he did now, it's going to be too late. So they take the shrines, at least for a second, but the camp has been taken. And there is a Siege Giant camp on the left side that was Washed Up, just locked in too. But they're now falling slightly behind in experience here. So level 10 is going to be ready in a few more moments for the Bang Bush. There's again the Temporal Loop, gets denied this time though. But they will have level 10, so that's a moment where Washed Up has to be very, very careful where they position themselves. Because if they give the red team an opportunity to take a fight, they're going to take it. And well, that's already the case. Quasar gets dropped in the middle of the map, so that's 6 kills to 3 now. And of course, at this point in time, there's also a lot of psychological pressure on all of this. If you're all of a sudden finding yourself in a position where you might just lose the game, after you've been not only dominating in the winner bracket, but also always taking the lead here in the grand final, then this is gonna screw with your head a little bit. So you gotta be super careful here. They got Bloodlust again. I've been talking a lot about how the Koreans play a lot of Greymane and they also love to use Rhaegar with Bloodlust. And currently they're doing exactly that here. There's the Gast! 7-sided and the double kill! Yep, that one hurt. That one hurt a lot. 7-sided strike, but Diablo and Greymane, they go for the kills against Hanzo and Falstad. And the Bang Bush with an amazing opening here. Take another look at this. Initially, it was Falstad flying in and trying to gust them out, but the Apocalypse is coming, and they just murder 2 of them where they stood. That's 8 kills to 3 now in total, and a massive advantage for the red team as they're pulling farther and farther ahead in this final game of the grand final. What a great moment for the Bang Bush. No Dragon Knights yet. We still have Banana moving towards the top to assist Quasar a little bit. But he needs to be very careful as well, because we still have a few more of the red team's heroes looking between the mid and the top lane to see if they can maybe catch somebody on a rotation. And talking about catching heroes, even Chromie is getting attacked here, but they can't go for that. Dragonite has been claimed, and that's the first objective in the game at the 7-minute mark. Alright, Dragonite with the damage. No fort has been destroyed yet, but the Bang Bush is getting closer and closer to getting the first one here. An attempt to punt Johanna towards the towers. That didn't work out. Up at the top lane. Yeah, short distance arrow to save Dequaza. The jet propulsion and Hazu nearly dies to Blaze. They still keep them alive, but the Dragonite is busy in the mid and the bot lane as we're now seeing them rotate once more. The top fort has already been taken. In the middle, some damage has been dealt, but it's the bot lane that they gotta worry about as the Dragonite is moving in and Skog already damaged the fort previously. So they're making a play for Chromie and they're gonna get her, but that kill is not gonna be enough. The second fort has nearly fallen and the Bang Bush is getting closer and closer to a full dominant position on the map regarding structures. Now, level 13 is still missing. They are trying to use the numbers advantage though, but Hogga isn't here yet. 7-sided strike to zone them out a bit further. Masquerade gets attacked. Dequaza, there's the gust into the wall. Bloodlust, Shockwave, Apocalypse, and the stun on Dequaza drops the Hogga player once more. Yeah, at this point, Hogga has been taken down 2 times. 3 kills against Nyx Falstad, 3 deaths on Karazim, 9 deaths on the blue team, and they are still struggling to get level 13. So once again, it is the Bang Bush that plays aggressively, starts to move in, looks for kills, looks to steal some camps away, and they're able to make it happen before level 13 is available for Washed Up. Washed Up is in trouble. They are. They have big problems getting momentum in this game, and it is Bang Bush who are rocking it. They have a 2-level lead. 2 levels! Bang Bush is currently 2 levels ahead here, as Washed Up is of course hoping to turn the game around. And they have the tools, there's no denying that. They got a global that can help them in the late game. They got the 7-sided strike. If they isolate Diablo, even that could be a quick kill. They got stuns. They got everything they need. But the coordination right now is just not there. Maybe now. And there it is. The kill against Diablo. The blessed shield that comes out after as they're looking for a follow-up kill. Chromie pushing them back. Gus being used to keep everybody safe here. Half a level until 16 though. So that's a big problem for the blue team now. But at least they got the kill in this situation. Diablo losing his souls. But he is already back up at the top. We got the pressure play by the camp. Next objective spawning in 4 seconds. And that's the opportunity that they might be able to use for just another Dragonite. And level 16 is ready. Level 16 is here. That gives us a full synergy with the Earthgrasp Totem for Rhaegar. And we got also Diablo now with the domination after the devastating charge. So he can really ping-pong heroes around now. And he's trying to do that. And Masquerade is falling victim to it. Masquerade falls and he's trying to get the Dragonite here, but at the top they were able to get the shrine taken. The problem is that Svamgrota is soaking up a lot of the ults. Big play! And the kill against Hazuops as Nagrom is making the combo happen for them. Trying to get a hold of Banana H2, but he can't. It's 11 kills to 5, 16 to 14. Washed Up is falling apart here. They need a big teamfight victory, and it's just not looking like they can get it. Svamgrota is taking the top now. We have Chromie moving into the mid lane. She finally wants to be a real dragon for once in her life, and she's able to pull it off. Here we go. Chromie is happy. Yay! And I cannot fault her, because finally her delusions are coming true. She is a real dragon for another minute, and that's amazing. So yeah, good for you. Diablo gets killed though. Diablo gets killed. Ooh, that was a useless arrow, as Hanzo is completely missing this one. The fort falls, and I mean, they have their keeps, but they lost all of the forts here. Chromie is taken down a little bit earlier than she initially expected, so that Dragonite duration was a bit limited. They're still trying to get the kill. Good Gust! Nice Gust! They still want Chromie, and they're gonna get her. Washed Up, boys. They're fighting back. And Svamgrota missed the jet propulsion, and they're trying to punish him! And he survived. But now, all of a sudden, the blue team has a bit of momentum for themselves. Yeah, that, especially with the level 60 talent that they had, looked a bit better. But they can't take even a structure down. 7 kills to 11. They haven't given up on this yet. So that's kind of awesome. They haven't given up on the game yet, and they're really trying tooth and nail to fight back into this. But with that now, we got 28,000 damage for Hanzo, 37,000 for Greymane. Ultralisk's pick definitely working out. I gotta admit that Ultralisk is just insane. Honestly, as a player, think about somebody that is as impactful as Ultralisk. Not only in the game itself, but also during the drafting phase. Time and time again, Washed Up had to sacrifice ban after ban against Ultralisk. And when they stopped doing it, Bangbush was immediately there winning it. And now, even with 3 heroes targeted that he usually plays, we are seeing him getting mad value for the team and rocking the top damage numbers. So yeah, it is kind of wild. But 11 kills to 7. There is still an opportunity for Washed Up to bring this back. The Shrine is activating in 25 seconds. Now they are trailing by a level. Level 20 for the Bangbush. They should get the earlier Storm Talents unless they're losing a few more heroes in the upcoming fights. But if they can make a Dragon Knight, that would be a different story. 7-sided! They really want him! And they get him! Diablo is dead! The Shockwave! Holy shit! What a triple kill! What an amazing triple kill by Washed Up! They are back to business, boys! That was the big ticket back into the game. Look at this. They go for Diablo. They isolate him, kill him. And then the Shockwave from Dequaza. What a beautiful play by him. And they get 3 kills against the red team. And all of a sudden, just like that, they're back to business. They're going to get a Dragon Knight. They got the camp at the bottom of the map. And this is their chance to get structure damage in. Their comeback is real. Bangbush might have just, maybe not lost the game, but they definitely lost their momentum. 10 kills to 11. Unbelievable. That moment. Oh my god. What a sexy play. Seriously. And we're going to take another look at this. That was incredible. Check this one out. Diablo gets caught. They throw everything at him. And then it's a Shockwave that connects with 3 that leads to another 2 kills as Rhaegar and Greymane fall. 2 forts have now been destroyed and they are marching through the bot lane. This one opened the game up wide. What a fantastic series. What an amazing best of 5 to determine the first seed for Europe. Here comes Washed Up. They are going for the keep. They got level 20. We already have them with the transgression here. They got the anger management. The Dragon Knight is up for another 27 seconds and they want that keep. It's a 5 versus 5, but no level 20 for Bangbush just yet, but they're so close to grabbing that Storm Talent. And there it is. They got their Storm Talent. Jojo has to be careful now. And here comes the Gladiators washout. Gladiators washout. The Stuck in the Loop has already been taken a little bit earlier. So now it's pretty much a dead even game. I mean, there is one big difference in structures, and that's the top lane. That's where the Bangbush still holds on to their fort. But outside of that, it's dead even. 20 versus 20, 10 kills to 11. And it really comes down to the next 1 or 2 team fights, maybe just the next objective. Falstad, Nick can play a big role now. If they have a good job, if they do a good job playing around Division and they have the opportunity to use Falstad on the side lane, they can do a lot here. But yeah, this is big. This is going down to the wire. Oh, absolutely incredible. So the move towards the top, as they at least try to open the wall up here. Yeah, they also aim for Swamp Grotta, but they can't quite get him. At the bottom of the map, the Siege Giant camp is about to be taken. Now, they don't know that, so they have to be careful, since the red team is playing a lot around Division with this. And if they can at any point isolate Nagrom again, Transgression is going to murder them. Yep, 11 hits coming in. He already had some trouble with the 7-sided strike for obvious reasons, but this could make matters even worse. 50 stacks for Falstad on the level 1, 90 souls now for Diablo. It's a little bit of a trap. Blessed Shield! And they're sucking him back in, and that's the kill right there. They did it again. They need to keep Dequaza alive, and they do. The Stuck in the Loop is denied, Nicely done. The triple cleanse with a cleansing touch and the Quicksilver. And they get Diablo again. Once more, Masquerade not hesitating, taking the big risk, YOLOing the Blessed Shield out. They get the connect with the 7-sided strike, and the Condemn sucks him back in. All of the damage. Now the opportunity for the Dragon Knight. Diablo down for another 30 seconds. What can they do with that window? What can they do with that window here? Once more they go for Chromie. They try to get the kill. Blaze missing the stun. And Hogger pogging out. It is such a great combo from Washed Up. And honestly, they're risking a lot. Diablo is not YOLO. It's not face checking or anything. He's not going for the bushes. He's actually just carefully trying to dip out, and he gets caught. And if one of those ults is not perfectly timed by Washed Up, then they're not getting the kill and they're wasting all of the cooldowns. And that could be a total disaster. The Dragon Knight is taken. Nick is still at the top, takes at least the catapults down. He wants to save that key because they're not sure what they can do with this. And already the move is on. They go again. Oh, Diablo got punted away. Got punted out of the 7-sided strike, out of the transgression. So that was a bit unfortunate. Definitely a lack of communication here from Washed Up. Slight mistake. Everybody was, of course, attempting the kill against the blue team. And then, instead of just going for the kill opportunity here, the Dragon Knight really just thinking about saving the teammate. And it didn't work out. Cooldown still en route. Gladiator's washout is in. Dragon Knight attacked. And they're doing their best here, but Ultralisk is dropping very low. And the Dragon Knight is looking for the kill. Can't get it here, but it also means that the Gladiator's washout is now over. They wait for the next minion wave, and they start to move back in. Now, to be absolutely frank with you, I don't think that Transgression would have killed Diablo in that situation, but it might have, with a bit of follow-up. Another kick, another hit. They want that keep, and they might just be able to get it now. We are 19 minutes into the game. 19 minutes right here. And yep, they're getting big damage connected. But is it enough to take that keep down? It doesn't seem like it, especially with... Yeah, they gotta drop that. And boom, there we go. The triple cleanse is just worth so much for Banana H now. If they don't have that, they're losing so many heroes here. But he has the dashes, he keeps them, and he's just cleansing out the stuck in the loop. But of course it also forces a lot from him. They couldn't take the keep though. So a good defense from the Bang Bush once more, and they are now trying to establish a bit of control on the map. And they're doing a good job at it. They're taking the Siege Giants, they're still waiting it out down at the bot lane as they are hoping to catch Washed Up going for the camp. And I guess they do. That choke point could be a disaster now. So Nagrom is looking for opportunities to stun them into the wall and unleash the apocalypse for the rest of the team to follow it up with additional damage, and especially Chromie to get the single target damage connected that would help them to get the oh so important kill now in these fights. But still, top lane has suffered a lot too, so both teams have now a keep that is fairly low. And there's the mid hit! No! This is it! This has to be it! Greymane! Rhaegar the first one to fall. Greymane gets out. Big wind tunnel into the corner. Ultralisk on the run. Nagrom about to go down. He's already dead. Ultralisk is escaping. The rest of the team is on the run. And Blaze gets Hanzoned. And Chromie falls. This is insane. They go for the keep. And this has to be a play for the core. Nicely done. 15 kills to 11. Absolutely fantastic. They go for the core. The Bang Bush, ladies and gentlemen. They did such a great job here on this last map. But the final fight goes to Washed Up, and they are the ones to make the play. They take Diablo down again. Transgression eliminates Greymane, and Washed Up is able to get that first seed for Europe. They will attend the big event in Miami in October. GG and congratulations.